Happy New Year, everybody. I'm wishing you all the best in 2025. From everybody here at the motoringchronicle.com, thank you for all your support in 2024. But there's a new year, so there's a new round of motorsport events throughout this year. And one of the ones that's on the first is the Dakar Rally. So it may seem like a bit of an obvious question, but it's got a very complicated answer in a sense, really, when it comes to the Dakar Rally. Is why is it called the Dakar Rally? Now, you may have already seen a video that I put out earlier this week on the motoringchronicle.com, basically explaining why the Dakar Rally no longer goes to Dakar, why that's no longer part of the route. So go check that out for a more in-depth answer on that question. But why is this still called the Dakar Rally to this day? Well, the Dakar Rally, for those that don't know, is one of the most challenging motorsport events in the world. And it got its name from its original route, which went from Paris in France and ended up in Dakar in Senegal, which is in West Africa. The rally was initially called the Paris-Dakar Rally, though, due to this iconic journey across both Europe and Africa. The event started in 1978 by Thierry Sabine, who was a French motorcyclist with a passion for adventure, and he certainly got it when it came to this route, as did everybody else who took part in the event. Sabine's vision was to create a race that would test the limits of both the vehicles and the competitors across vast, unforgiving terrains such as the Sahara Desert. Over the years, the Dakar Rally has evolved and changed locations due to security concerns and logistical challenges. Despite no longer following its original route, the event remains the Dakar name and is a nod to its heritage and the spirit of extreme endurance racing it represents. Now, of course, this is not dissimilar to, for example, the Euro 2020 football tournament, which actually took place in 2021 due to the pandemic, but it was still called Euro 2020 officially because it was that with the sponsors and everything like that. That's what everybody knew it as at the time, and it's also why, again, the Summer Olympics of 2020, they were known as that, despite taking place in 2021 in Tokyo. Similar things for AFCON as well, the African Cup of Nations in football, that was delayed, so a few of those have the different years in the title compared to when they actually took place. And it's similar for Dakar as well, even though Dakar is not part of the route, even though it moved to South America in 2009, I think it was the first year that they went there, and it stayed there until 2019, and now it's over in Saudi Arabia. Even though Dakar's not part of the route, the Dakar name is arguably even more famous than the city itself, really. A lot of people will not be able to point to Dakar or indeed Senegal on a world map, but they'll probably know, or at least heard of, if you're a casual motorsport fan, about the Dakar Rally. So speaking of that original route from Paris to Senegal, why did they decide to go with this? What was basically the inspiration behind it? Well, like I mentioned, Thierry Sabine is the person who came up with this event, and he basically got lost during a rally race between Abidjan, which is in the Ivory Coast, to Nice in France. And inspired by this experience and surviving the experience, he actually thought, you know what, let's make an even tougher one. Let's go not to the south of France, let's go to the north of France, let's go even further into Africa through the actual Sahara Desert all the way to the west coast of the continent. And the first event took place on Boxing Day, St. Stephen's Day to some, the 26th of December 1978, and it lasted all the way until the 14th of January 1979, and 182 vehicles took part at the start. I imagine not that many of them finished, and in fact 74 of them did finish, and that was a route of a grueling 10,000 kilometers, somewhere in the region of 6,000 miles in imperial units. That is a long way either way. And this inaugural race set the tone for Dakar's reputation as one of the toughest motorsport challenges in the world. And again, the name is more famous than the event. The name is just the name. Even though it doesn't actually go to Dakar anymore, it continues to still be called that, and it'll be called that forever, even if one day they may move it to a different part of the world. Who knows? Maybe they'll go back to Dakar one day, maybe when things settle down finally. But something tells me the amount of money in the world when it comes to Saudi Arabian sports these days, I don't really see them getting rid of that grip anytime soon, and they will pay far more than any European or African nation ever would for an event like this. But that is the reality of the situation we're in. So there we go guys. That is why the Dakar Rally is called the Dakar Rally. Surprise, surprise, it used to end in Dakar in Senegal. And for much more information on the world of motorsport, do keep it tuned here to themotoringchronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well, and we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.